Welcome back to some professional StarCraft 2, a best of 3 Terran versus Zerg between two of my favorite players. Though, for somewhat different reasons. Put your likes and subscribes together. In the bottom left of Blackburn, I give you the GSL champion, the People's Terran. It is Cure. And matched up against him, they've had some epic matches in the past, full of drama and excitement and something a little different. We'll see if this world champion, who currently sits at the #1 slot in world rankings and is a semi-permanent resident of that position, it is, from NC Sports, the finisher. It's Serral. If you remember, last year both these two, well, usually it takes two to tango, and there was a beautiful dance, a nearly mined-out map, a nearly hour-long game that ended with neural parasiting Thors and a handful of corrosive biles and a couple hundred minerals deciding it. Still one of the most dramatic games of StarCraft 2 I've ever seen. It inspired Serral to tweet several days later about how he stays up at night thinking about whether or not he should have target fired the Thor, because Cure did win that game. And I think anything deserving of multiple days of contemplation from the man himself is worth remembering. But we have Terran versus Zerg, and we've seen a lot of Terran versus Zerg, and a lot of Serral Terran versus Zerg, which does have a particular style, a more macro-oriented style than almost anyone else. Serral is kind of he is the baseline. He's how you define if someone is macro, is how much they play like Serral. Cure, on the other hand, occasionally will pull out the early game strategies, but he is almost by default a more macro-oriented Terran. As his micro, well, let's put it this way, he makes it look like anybody can play Terran at this level, and we love him for it. But he is the GSL champion, and a lot of other players, I think still, to this day, underestimate him. He focuses a lot more on working smarter instead of working harder. But with that said, we're starting out with the classic, the 2-1-1. 2 barracks, 1 factory, and 1 starport on the agenda. Well, once Cure starts to start, there we go. 2 medevacs full of Marines with Stim, one of the oldest builds in Legacy of the Void, beyond popularizing it just a year or two in. I think after he got Reapers nerfed several times, he decided, I guess I'll micro Marines then, is when the 2-1-1 became kind of the staple from here to, well, the Diamond League. Cure actually whipping it out here on Blackburn. The main bases are the closest bases to one another. On most maps, you've got more bases that go out in front. You go towards the 3rd or the 4th. But here, especially with air units, the quickest path is directly to their main, which adds an additional threat vector, if I wanted to sound very fancy, for those medevacs to potentially do damage. I think, well, how much has Serral seen? He just slipped a Zergling in. He's always very good about that. He's got a Baneling nest on the way that should be finishing up right about the time the medevacs are popping out. You're going to have Stim as well. He's got 14 Marines, which is close enough. Maybe looking to save the... Oh, okay. Well, didn't go very far. It was a shakedown cruise. The medevacs here for support as opposed to fancy drop micro. Now that he's been spotted, I think he just decided to walk his way across. Serral, no banelings yet. Instead, it looks like relying on his queens. Oh, Oh my. Okay. Alright, Cure. No, looks like we'll get him this time. He won't get away from us a second time. Well, usually these sort of marine pushes are known for their sharp timings and dangerous, well, the ability to get so much damage done with so little. Cure takes out an Overlord, and is gonna set up for the push. A few Banelings now for Serral. He doesn't even have Baneling speed on the way. Lair is complete. Baneling speed should be next on the agenda. We got a single Widow Mine here. Looking for more opportunities. Serral just holding the line with his queens. Cure, healing up all the Marines. He has Drilling Claws on the way. Big fan of the Widow Mine. Serral staying out of range here. The Queen Concave. The Queen Moot. Brenda and her knitting crew getting together, but Cure gunning one down, looking for more. Banelings at the back. Target fire or just a lucky break will hit some of the Banes. Medevacs dart into the main. Zerglings will force them away. This is not going great for Cure. So, overall, yeah, that wasn't great. That could have gone better. As Cure just kind of slapped down. Looking for more. The Queens are still harassing the Marines, not quite where they need to be. Picks up, but then goes straight into the bubula. We've all been there. It's like a dream. Whatever you do, you can never go as fast as you need to. The Queens are coming. You cannot get out. Raven! Widowmine drop heading north. Cure has been batted down. Serral is... So, this feels like Serral kind of took the weight off. For those of you baseball fans out there, one of the best ways to fall asleep in front of the TV, for you, my American friends. But it's like when you take the weight off the bat, so it's easier to swing it the second time, or when you're going up to bat. So Serral's been playing against Clem and Maru, and now he's up against Cure. He was prepared for a Maru level 2-on-1. He should have prepared for the Cure level follow-up, which is, of course, the Widow Mines. He completely batted down the early Marine pressure, and Cure is falling back to his staple. He has no shame in using units that are remarkably effective. He's been using Widow Mines at every opportunity, where other Terrans wasting their time microing silly things like Marines. Drilling Claw's already done a hive on the way at 8 minutes from Serral. Disgustingly quick. Widowmine's looking for more opportunity. Banelings rolling in from the north. Meanwhile, Marines crumbling. Maybe a decent Widowmine hit. Gets a lot, but the Banelings... Oh, well. Oh, okay. Surprisingly few SCV kills there is... Serral trying to micro against the mine. A bit messy. Cure losing maybe a little more than he should, but a little less than he could. Hive is going to be finishing up soon. Widowmine still triggering across the board. Cure does know where to put him. Meanwhile, there's still a mine in the main. It's got 4 kills, probably drones. Hive is done. 2-2 on the way for both sides, but Serral a minute ahead. He's got most of the advantages here. Cure's been able to keep him kind of on the back foot with the Widowmines and the drops, as there is no anti-air besides the Queens, and the Queens can't fly, and we don't talk about that. Not since the accident. Widowmine finally dealt with by the knitting crew. Looking for more. A little too far forward, loses a few Marines, but 8 drones. There was a Widowmine somewhere. I assume there was a Widowmine based on the drone kill counter popping up, but I don't see anything on the minimap. Cure coming in again from the top right. He's been lurking. 2 Marines. 2 brothers. Killing drones. For love. And profit. 2 brothers. Together. Oh, well, Widowmine's hitting everything, and 2 brothers. One brother, and the other one watching. And then they kiss. No. They hug. Don't be weird. Two brother. Targeting down one. 10 kills. Bringing Serral to 72 drones despite his hive tech on the way. Not an overwhelming economy. Meanwhile, Cure has stabilized. He's at 69 SCVs. A nice number to base your mid-game presence off of. Rocks being taken down in the center. Serral looking... Well, he's going lurkers now. Serral has a tendency to make his lurker den quite late compared to his hive. Just relying on Zerglings and Banelings. It's no exception here, as once again the lurker den was after the hive already finished. So that means it's potentially vulnerable to getting sniped by Cure's Marines. He will target it down. He knows how valuable it is. He gets it. No cancel. Lurker Den already rebuilt at the natural, but guess where Cure's Marines are going this time? Another lair on the way. I'm going to go ahead and say Serral building this lair to have more HP with which to consume with his Vipers. And that is the big brain movies. Get over here! Well, not sure that was as effective as it could have been, but looking for more. We got a fusion core on the way. Yes, yes. Here it is. Advanced bullet. Oh my. The whole knitting convention here. 13 queens on the field, all of them trying to jam themselves into a corner. It's a bit of a mess. The Vipers overhead. Meanwhile, Widowmine drop in towards the main. Drops one. There's no detection built in here. I don't know if he sniped a spore or Serral just never had one. Looking for more. This Widowmine dropped the lurker den. Okay. I think that was a manual detonation. Not 100% though. Oh, he has a spore crawler there. Well, where does that leave us? Nearly maxed out. We've made it to this point. More like Cure has made it to this point, as Serral has been constantly pressuring him. We will have to see if he can make any more progress outside of a handful of drops. He gets another hatchery. He's sniping tech. Serral not able to put together a game-ending unit composition just quite yet. No lurkers with this army. There's already advanced ballistics on the way. The Ghost Academy. A bold move, but a necessary one, as we've seen. Without the Ghost, you don't really have any sort of cost-effective way of dealing with the lurkers. Liberators can deal with them, but Liberators can be dealt with in turn, especially by things like Vipers, which goes to great. Oh my god, the Widowmines blasting through! A huge chunk of Zerg goes down, but Marines also. Another inconsequential fight. Neither player coming out of that one feeling like they have any more advantage or disadvantage than they did before. Serral with a slight income advantage. Looking for more Widowmines connecting. Liberators sieging up. Serral in a bit of an awkward concourse here. He doesn't know which direction to go, but he's going the other way. Brenda! Meanwhile, though, Cure dropping in the back, finding a few drones, forcing Serral to retreat. What are we doing? Serral with an ill-fated... I've seen a lot of Zerg players try to attack into that location in the later game. And the Terran concave is surprisingly powerful. Once you get a few of those siege units coming down from the high ground. The Viper's dangerous. There's no Widowmines here, so Cure gonna have to retreat to something a little more substantial. Decent splits. Well, I spoke a little soon, but Cure losing all of his soft targets and some of his medium soft targets, but his semi-hard targets and his hard targets a little better off. So we will have to see. Jimmy! No, we're not going back to the spawning pool yet. Jimmy, go back. I said go back. Yes. Apologies. Yes, we will be firing him after Christmas. After! Adaptive talons on the way. Lurkers have been added to the field. A few burrowed lings up north. A single lurker gonna open things up and get Cure thinking about it. A Venn diagram of freedom. There are now 10 liberators. I always chastise players with many thousands more MMR than myself for not committing. Oh, nice EMP. Well, not nice enough to save the ghost, but like, players will go 3-4 liberators and be like, I don't know why my liberators aren't doing very much. You have 8 supply of liberators, bro. I don't know how, because they're 3 supply apiece, but you have 8 supply of liberators. That's not enough. Cure. Full assingness. Not half, not 1/4. He does things right. He's got a dozen liberators, got 9 ghosts. His unit composition is shaping up to handle Serral in the late game. Yes, he'll lose a liberator here or there, but he has more to replace them. And hopefully he does so in a timely manner. They do have advanced ballistics, which means the Vipers are going to have to get dangerously close to abduct them. High-sec auto-trekking. Building armor filled in right after the 3-3 upgrades. Despite our best efforts, we are going to the supreme late game. We have the map nearly cut in half, but Serral taking more than his fair share. Cure, on the other hand, has lost about 4,000 less minerals, equal gas at the moment. Oh, get over here! And then go right on back. He does end up losing 2 or 3 liberators, but I have a feeling the Hydralisk loss there kind of balanced that out. Oh, and I love him. Oh, Cure. This is why I love Cure. Oh, you'll see it in the production tab. Some of you know. But let's see how this fight goes so I can talk about it. Yeah. Just not enough support for the Hydraling Bane. Anyways, rapid reignition thrusters. Medevac speed and boost cooldown. It's only 100-100. It's only 60 seconds to finish. You have a fusion core already. So many players. It's one of those upgrades that there's no reason not to get when you're already maxed out with hundreds or thousands of minerals in the bank. Like, come on. But Cure, he may have just queued up all the buttons. I don't know if there are any buttons. Does he have every fusion core upgrade now? He doesn't have Hyperflight Banshees. But we'll see afterwards. And maybe he did just press all the buttons. Who knows? Though I doubt Banshees are going to be making a cameo appearance here. Liberator still looking for an opportunity. A little awkwardly, Liberators can't be countered directly by Vipers. Parasitic Bomb is an option, but an incredibly cost and effective one in how much time it takes to build up that energy. A Lurker to the north. No detection, though. So, scan comes through. Command center taken down. No, command center not taken down. The SCV building the command center taken down. So not nearly as dramatic. And at this point, 400 minerals either way aren't going to make a huge difference. A dangerous looking Widow Mine, aren't they all? Fires a shot, takes out the initial chunk, but the abducts yank the Liberators out of the fray. Parasitic Bomb at the back, spraying damage across the board, but evacuates the Liberator, and one uncomfortable medevac is wondering why you parked here. Meanwhile, though, Cure, he split off his bio army, the Expendables here. Marauders, Marines, and a medevac are not a critical or irreplaceable component. Triple nuke! Cure! Showing why he's the people's Terran. Giving the people what they want. What do we want? Nuclear missiles. When do we want them? Doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but nukes, definitely something we haven't seen as much of. We'll get the occasional nuke. I think the times of not so mutually assured destruction have passed with hundreds. I'm reminded of Scarlet versus Maru with several hundred nukes. Okay, like 150 thrown out. But at some point, they do cost money. They cost 1 rapid reignition thrusters upgrade per nuclear missile. So and you don't get them back after you fire them. Even if the ghost is taken out and it flies off into the expanse, you never know. It's still 100 down the drain. Nuclear missile launched. 1 on the gold. Can I get another one? Oh, he's using this to distract. He comes in. I love it. I love it. And he comes in with the bio army. Serral, I don't know if he just noticed or if he was waiting because he knows how long it takes for a nuke to land. But he comes in with the bio army right after launching the nuke, the bait and switch. Because what happens? Nuclear launch detected. You freak out. You look at all your bases, and then guess what? Oh my god. I'm playing StarCraft Ghost to the south here. Liberator plus... I don't think we should be committing quite that many ghosts to anything at this point, but another launch. Serral. Let's go to the Serral cam. Oh, he sees it. He pulls away. Gets rid of the ghost. Nuke. Serral checked it. It sounded like it was close. Nope. Near miss. Another bio army. Cure doing a very good job of holding his own on the map, but at some point, Serral's gonna pick a fight. Oh, the pickup. Oh my. Alright, well. Ooh, a series of unfortunate events. So Cure ends up losing 20 supply of bio or so, but he'll replace it. He's got some Vikings on the way. Is Serral? No! Succeeding you, Susan. He kills his own queens to free up supply? Of all the things, why queens? Why not Zerglings? No offense, Zerglings. Why queens? Why? I don't understand. They wronged him. Full energy Vipers and Infestors. Near full energy ghosts. Some of them cloaked. The tactical cloaks. Nuclear missile launched. Zoning nuke as Cure tries to take the center. The pseudo island here. Very difficult to assault from the ground. Not quite an island, so you can. One very dead spore. Another nuke. The lurkers looking to slice. But the nuke will land as detection doesn't show up quite in time. Another one! Oh, Cure! He launches another, nuking his way forward! Oh, it's been too long since I cast Cure. I don't know why. Cure is putting on a cinematic show for us. Serral, of course, is being Serral. He's holding his own. He's been flexible. He hasn't overcommitted. He's kept it together. And despite all the drama, oh my god, multiple nukes across defensive nukes as well. Is there a such thing? Well, knocks down one, another. Be careful of nuking your own units. That's a very dead overseer. Just continues whipping out the nukes. If nothing else, Cure putting on a crowd-pleasing show. Yes, Jimmy, continue going. Give us the camera shots. More nukes on the way. This is 10 or 12 now. But the Broodlords, the Wombo combo potential is there. Ghosts are needed for EMP. The more conventional tactics are required here. Snipe, EMP, and just using cloak for what it's worth. Oh no! Beautiful fungal! Looking for the Wombo combo! Parasitic bomb! Terrible, terrible damage! Oh, he doesn't quite split the Vikings perfectly. Loses a lot of them. Much of the rest heavily damaged. Another fleet of Vikings, though. Our Nordic player should know the danger of them. Moving forward with some of the Liberators. Vikings from both sides. Cure's ready to go. Another fungal misses the mark. EMPs hits mostly queens, making them very uncomfortable. Cure holding the line. Defense, okay, well. Get these spore crawlers off my damn lawn, says Cure. It looks like Serral will oblige. One very unlucky creep tumor caught in the crossfire. More nukes, double nukes to the north, to the south. Once again, this one a little deeper. It looks like the broodlings will whip out and knock it away. Meanwhile, another nuke. That is a very expensive... Oh, it doesn't even kill the lurker. That's a little sad. No one can see each other. The brood lords are moving their way forward, yanking the liberators out of the fray. More broodlings hitting the deck. Ghost push back. Viking count. He's got 29 against 17 brood lords. Isn't actually an overreaction. Oh my. I haven't seen this many Vikings since the TV show was canceled. We'll have to see with the brood lords moving forward. The queens underneath. Infestors almost uncomfortably close to the fray. Brood lords knocking down turrets. No Thors here from Cure. He's dealing... like, this is almost a Wings of Liberty match right now. As we see Infestor Broodlord against Viking Ghost. The Bubula drags in a Liberator, looking for more. Another nuke to the north. Another nuke in the front. Maybe he's just hoping to get lucky. You only need to land one. Spend 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 minutes. No! No! Cure! Cure! Oh my god. Cure's like, I'm gonna get one of those sick nukes no matter what it takes. It's like, I don't know about that one. Cure a few steps away from nuking himself directly in the face. Oh, the brood lords. Raining down broodlings. A flood of the little things. Down goes the planetary. Fungal finds a few. Parasitic bomb. More damage. Decent split this time. 14 SCVs down. Another nuclear missile. Spore crawlers being pushed back. Vikings pick off a broodlord. A dozen nukes launched now. Seems like more. At least according to the alert, it says 12. Actually damages a liberator. Cure working his way forward. He still has 2 nukes in the bank. Oh, Queen straying a little too close. Cure, oh my god. 33 Vikings. He's setting himself up for disaster with a parasitic bomb here. Picks up 1 Liberator. We haven't really seen very many snipes. Yeah, Cure paints with a broad brush. Okay, he's not a precision player, but he's more of a big picture kind of guy. And by big picture, I mean instead of a precision snipe, a nuclear launch kind of player. It doesn't get much more broad than those particular strokes. Another nuke launched, and another one. Pushing Serral across the map. He's gonna have to be at least 1 base more cost effective, and right now, he's not. He's lost 2,300, 2,500 more gas. Most of that in nukes. It's actually starting to add up. Cure does have money in the bank, but Serral has much more. 10,000 minerals, 6,700 gas. Serral has lost almost nothing to the nukes. Each of them is just another little bit of minerals and gas sent away. The Vikings looking for more. Interesting, not a single Thor. Maybe trying to find some EMPs. Parasitic bomb. Cure stuck in the bubula, not even fungal. A lot of damage onto the Vikings. They do cost some to repair, but it is cheaper than building. Oh my. A lurker on the high ground happens to be over here. Cure running in the general direction of it. Another nuke launched at the front. Only 1 needs to land. Only 1 to win the game. So far, hasn't hit one. He's continuously throwing up a potential win. Oh my god, there's so much on the screen. I can't believe I have to consider lowering my graphics settings in 2021. But with this many different things happening at once, and so many potential broodlings and spells and drama, these are some of the most technical and stressful units, both for the players and for any spectators. A bit of bio. sprinting forward. 4 Marauders, 11 Marines is his bio complement. Just enough to try to push back these little groups of spores and creep tumors. The sporist has to move back. The nuke will land. Once again, he killed an SCV. Cure has, a few more creep tumors on the way. Vikings looking for an opportunity. Without Thors here, though, that is, those Vikings are very stacked up. Those Vikings are 2 or 3 parasitic bombs across the board, and he could wipe out the fleet. Looking for more. The dance. Just a handful of Vikings at a time. Lower risk, but lower reward. Where are the nukes, Cure? Where are the nukes? Fungal, wombo combo, parasitic bomb coming in, nuclear missile launched underneath. Another one. Wait, is that 2 nukes? No, it's just the one. He's trying to draw him in. The Vikings moving forward into the radius of the nuke. Cure, you gotta stop nuking yourself, bro. It kills another. Cure is. Oh, this is an interesting form of self-harm here. Just being a little too close to a nuclear missile, trying to knock the ghost away, yanks it out of position, and deletes it. But here are the Vikings. Cure, it looks like, has had enough. What a concave! Here comes everything! Parasitic bombs, EMPs across the board. How many parasitic bombs? He's trying to target down the Broodlords, but there's no ground army underneath. The Corruptors move in and just bully the Vikings out of the way. The Broodlords are forced to pull back. The Bio Army deals with the spores. Reinforcements on the ground. Those low-cost units reinforcing so quickly. And Cure wins the day. The Marines will force the spores to... they don't really have tails, but they definitely look like they would be tucking them at the moment. Cure actually wins the fight. I want to add 3 or 4 asterisks. But, he won the fight. He won the battle. But the war... There's only so many minerals left. All of them are here. He's under 1,000 against 10,000. Those broodlings. Wow, Serral's gotten very good at this. The relatively recently reduced range broodlords. By relatively recently, I mean 2 years, but... Cure uses 300 of his precious little bank, which is now less than that many minerals. 3 nukes. They haven't done anything so far. In fact, I think he may have killed more of his own units with nukes. More abducts. Serral playing a careful game, a methodical game. Cure also doing so, but much more costly. He's out of gas mining. I mean, he still has access over here, down to 1,800 minerals. One of the potential last nuclear missiles, number 21, flies up. What will it land on? The spores back off once again. They've gotten a surprising amount of cardio in this match. Nothing. Unless you count creep tumors. But I don't, so nothing. Serral's remaxed. Cure is maxed. 174 army supply. Oh, beautiful fungal! Wombo combo! Parasitic bomb! Vikings knocked out of the sky! Terrible, terrible damage! That was exactly what Serral was waiting for, and that is exactly what the finisher gets. The planetary, vulnerable, one brave SCV that hasn't been nuked yet. Trying to repair. It's not enough. The broodlings grind through. What? Marines, Cure? Marines? What a game, but Serral is not. He's given an inch. He's given a meter. But not much more than that, and he takes it back. Every step back, he takes a couple forward. Which is not what Cure wants. He's holding on to 2 nukes. He just has no money. He's in check right now. You got one more chance, mate. I'm not confident that the bio army that Cure has put together is going to be the answer to Infestor Broodlord. It never has been. It feels like he was scrambling to see what he could build, and this is what he came up with. Yeah, I'm not sure we're worried about this base now. You don't want to be on creep. Production doesn't matter. Serral! Serral could almost build this whole army again. He's now going to be mining. Hail Mary. Cure has 2 nukes. That's it. Literally, at this point, well, nobody's mining. What? They have mined out this map in record time. "35 minutes and we're down to like 6 mineral patches." Sounds like a long time, but there have been times it's taken over an hour. They just held on to their bases. Cure put on some pressure, but Serral was never really interrupted from anything but the southern base. It's 135 army supply. If Serral makes some big mistakes, there's no more ghosts to launch the nukes. Oh, this is gonna be not... Oh, an anticlimactic end to an incredibly exciting game. Well, there's a reason we play best of threes. Cure putting on a show for us. And Serral just kind of waiting for him to wear himself out. Nukes do feel like a look at me, dad kind of situation against someone like Serral. Yeah, 1 in 100 might land. But that's a lot of money spent. He didn't have 100. He had about 25. And I am convinced that Cure lost more units to nukes than Serral did. Jimmy, can we... Well... Game 2. We're on hardwire. That almost... It really did look like... Cure... He was scrambling in such a methodical way. Like, it was pretty clear from the very start with the medevac drop that Cure was somewhat outclassed. But every game Cure plays, even the ones he wins, he looks outclassed. But a lot of the time, he gives people an education. And even then, like, you can see the more strategic moves, like nuking and sniping bases in another part of the map. Because, of course, your immediate, almost visceral reaction, even in the Bronze League, to nuclear launch detected, is where is the dot? Not, how do I deal with 2 medevacs, a Marine Marauder killing my other hatchery? But Serral, I mean, there is literally no one more calm, collected, and consistent. Almost painfully so. Like, other players, like Cure, like Zest, like Scarlet, have swings. Sometimes they'll be on point. Sometimes they'll fail. But it's dramatic. It's exciting. Serral, on the other hand, just on another level. There's a reason he's rank 1. He doesn't have those days. Or if he does, they're fewer and further between than anyone else in the world. In that last game, like, think of how much was going on. Nukes flying everywhere, medevacs, Widowmine drops. Serral made a few false start attacks that didn't end up breaking through, but then he backed off, and he built the death ball, and he let Cure wear himself out. Kind of like a stiff-arming a toddler who's trying to punch you kind of thing. And did I just compare Cure to a toddler trying to punch you? Most toddlers have better marine micro. No, 3 racks. So speaking of marine micro, Cure is going to triple down on the barracks. He's going to make essentially just marines. Of course, this is an early game, pre-baneling speed, pre-infestors. But still, a bold move. We'll see if it works out. Serral's seen this, by the way. Like, he walked right by the Overlord. I wonder if Serral will build anything more than queens and lings. Like, he's building a lot of lings. This is one of those... This is almost a Wings of Liberty. Honestly, Cure is playing a bit of a Wings of Liberty style. Yes, Liberators and Ghosts and all that, but... The way he... That was so many... I have not seen that many Vikings. Ever. In, like... Not even in TVT have I seen that many Vikings. And they both have Vikings. But, he had like 35 Vikings. Well, yeah, that was a very... That was how we dealt with it in Wings of Liberty. Before Thor's got high impact mode, I do wonder if he's had more success against the more Broodlord-esque composition with Vikings over Broodlords. With Vikings over Thors, rather. So Cure's a bunch of Marines. He's gonna have Stim. Serral has Lings and Banes. He only has 4 more workers. He's definitely respecting this. If he crushes it, he can build as many drones as he wants, which is probably about double. Well, he's gonna go for the wraparound, forces the Stim away, he holds him down! But he slips out. Oh, you gotta kill the Lings. Okay, so... Yeah, okay. So, it looks like we're gonna be in almost an identical scenario to last game, where it's like, well, that was a cute idea, Cure. Now go sit in your base for a while. Oh, the target... Huh. Yeah, now just stay in your base for a bit. Wow, that... Interesting build choices from Cure here. I appreciate his optimism. This is why he's the people's Terran. Okay, just because he can't Marine Micro doesn't mean he won't. So all you Diamond Leaguers out there should be inspired. Stop watching Maru. Start watching Cure. Be realistic. And now watch what he does. I'm actually going to go to the Cure action camp because no matter how this gamer... Okay. Cure is someone you should be able to empathize with. He ends up building... He micros his macro. Even no matter what he's doing with the early game. Oh, you're crazy. Oh, wait. I'm zoomed out. I'm sorry. That makes it look weird.
Upgrade complete.
Building up more medevacs. Really focusing on maximizing production without queuing too many units. Oh, trying to... Okay. Micro the... well... That's enough of that. Picks up some more... Well, Widow Mines might have been nice to have. Cure flailing a bit on the drops. Meanwhile, Serral has taken the rest of the map. He's got a nice amount of drones. Baneling speed on the way, 1-1. Burrow being added to the repertoire. Wouldn't be surprised to actually see some Bane mines here. Serral might have recognized how much of a crowd pleaser that last game was. Give it an attempt himself with some Baneling mines. Speaking of Banelings. Oh. Just out of vision. Overseer with speed. Gonna get the lay of the land. And he's gonna see about every single thing you'd ever expect, including a 4th command center. The most standard of standard. Plenty of Lings and Banes. Going to be relying on the Widow Mines. They've helped him before. Oh, this time not so much. Juicier hit. Gets a pickup. And slips out with many of the Marines. Meanwhile, attack on the left flank. Serral consolidating forces, but he hasn't seen the Marines yet. He will now. Keeping his units split. Adding creep with the knitting crew. Meanwhile, though, Banelings, unchecked, just slamming through the mineral line. 13, last one left out, feeling like it wants to participate. Doesn't kill anything, but makes 2 SCVs feel very uncomfortable. Oh. Oh, no. Well, that's... Yeah. It's similar to last game, but also worse. We've all been here, accidentally pulling an SCV with the army. No, that was totally for repair. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, this has not been going quite as well. Yeah, Cure forced to pick up and get out. His supply is still solid. Like, he's down, as you might expect, but his production and a big part is efficient production. I'm gonna go back to Cure once again. He's never queuing up a bunch of units. He's not spending his minerals inefficiently, and that can help keep you going. Oh, the SCV throws itself into the Banes. The micro, he gets the target. Oh no, where are you going? Come back. Meanwhile, some more to deal with some of the creep tumors. Another Widow Mine drop heading out. A whole lot of Widow Mines on the field. 109 Zerglings. But 11 mines could easily dispatch. Did he right-click on the medevac? Really? Despite all of this, even with 130 Zerglings on the field, Cure still going to be maxing out with... He already has more army supply. As Serral did him the favor of losing... Oh, looks like he's gonna be able to burrow these. I don't think they were here intentionally, but now they'll draw Serral's attention as potentially Cure gets damage in the main. Widow Mines, 1 fires. Decent hits. He dodged one with a Spore Crawler. Meanwhile, Baneling split. I can't believe it's not butter. What a spread. There's a bit of Minecraft happening back at home. He stims. All the medevacs just flew away, though, so that's a little uncomfortable. Some of them are coming home with no Marines left over. The other Marines should be somewhat concerned about that scenario. They're just happy to get a little healing, though. Well, this planetary could have a tough day. That's enough Banelings to just knock it off the map. Well, thank you for the demonstration. Medevacs, slapped down. Serral has had enough. Suddenly he's up 50 supply. He knocked out a base and 18 SCVs. He obliterated everything out of the dropship. He's continuing to keep pressure on every front. Cure, on the other hand, is... He's running directly into a brick wall of acid, which is an interesting chemical composition wherever he goes. Queen shutting down another drop in the center. Oh, the Banelings. The Marines have enough DPS. and actually deal with the Banes. Dropping the main. Cure. Turning things around maybe a little bit. Making some... Oh, no. Another Bane. Lot of damage. Meanwhile, in the center, Widowmines find an opportunity. Cure. When the smoke clears, down 60 supply. Viper's on the way. Lurker Den complete. Upgrades are only +1 melee and +2 carapace. Against +3, +2. Okay, interesting. So that is why those Marines seem to be standing up to things. Is they have a 2 upgrade advantage right now. Going on 3. Especially with the weapons. That gives them a lot of potential. So they're punching above their weight class. Oh, wow. What a power move. What a... Oh, my God. Is he... No, God, it's so sad. He burrowed Banelings underneath the medevacs, but Kira was looking the other way. There's just not enough Marines here. Serral focusing on brute force to batter through. Widowmines finding enough to keep things together. He might be able to raise the orbital. Another mine. Gonna hit some of the Overseers on the way out. The upgrade showing their effectiveness here. Widowmines intact still. Another... he throws a Parasitic Bomb out because he's kind of like, well, I don't know, maybe Blinding Cloud, but a Parasitic Bomb is a guaranteed kill. Where are you going? Wow. Sees the Lurkers. Times 2 Gs. That is that. This game, not close. Game 1, dramatic. But Serral, still in the driver's seat. Game 2, he kicked Cure out of the car. That's enough of that, he says. Well, an exciting series. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, ring the bell. Dislike, nobody will know. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Stay chill.